Can you describe for me your personal journey of transformation?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Big.
Yeah, I'll have to, it's so big I'll have to just make pieces here and there to
That's
dot
good.
them. Yes, my personal journey started in November of 1979 when alcohol was taking such a gigantic chunk out of who I was and what I was doing. And so much so that I had subconsciously started to decide to quit drinking. And it was a funny thing. One of the things that started it was, if you can believe this, like I never read books. I just never read, ever. And I walked into a co-op grocery store, okay? And here's a bin of old books at the front. And I pick up 3 books. Now, keeping in mind I don't read at this time. And all 3 of them were Norman Vincent Peale. Power of Positive Thinking for a Time Like This, and another one of his. And I started into the Power of Positive Thinking, and I said, my God, you mean people think and feel and see world different than the way I'm seeing it? Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like it started to open up the kind of searching. And the next one wasn't quite as positive. Matter of fact, it was extremely negative. Was that they were having a Christmas party at the end of November, that's why I knew when it was, for our company. Because I was working in Banff, Alberta, and I was working out there all through the week, and I'd come home on the weekend. And anyway, they were having this Christmas party, and of course, hey, it was free booze. And so I was one of the first ones there, grabbed a tray and went up and filled it and come back, and it was for me. About midnight, as getting really loaded, my former wife, Wilma, my wife at the time, said, you know what, we need to go. There ain't no chance in hell that I am leaving here right now. There's still liquor, I'm staying. Mm-hmm. So about 2 o'clock in the morning, I threw the keys and said, here honey, let's go, you drive. I said, no, you don't know how to handle your liquor, you drive. And she gave them back to me. Then we started driving across Calgary, screaming and yelling and hitting each other, and I'm driving drunk at the same time. Right. And got home and get into a big fight with her, and then the kids get up, and and I drove the babysitter home in that state. Come back and still at it again, and the kids were up and I was screaming and yelling. And the next morning I'm sitting at the kitchen table and I'm thinking, which way do I do this? Is it a gun? Do I just go in my car at as fast as I can go and hit a tree? Like, how do I do this? And that weekend, my sister and her husband come over for a visit, and he was in AA and she was in Al-Anon, and he said, you know, Donn, there's a way that you can, if you were serious about quitting drinking, that you could go to AA. And so anyway, that's what I did. I went to AA. It's too long to get into that one, but I went in there and I got sober. I did the 12 steps within the first 4 months. Total change after I did the 12 steps. What happened was because the I Am Energy is about me transforming me. It wasn't about me studying something. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about me learning in a book how to do something. It was about, I had so much dysfunction. I had multiple addictions, codependency, physical symptoms, like I had insecurities, you name it, I had it all. And so it was like anything I did was to get rid of these. It wasn't to help anybody else, ever. And
how long did you stay in that stage of trying to work a AA program? I mean, how many years?
I stayed in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, for 15 years.
And did it get you where you wanted to be?
No, it didn't. Now, I have to say that I wouldn't be here today without it,
Yes.
because that's what I needed to get started. But I found that there was something much more added that I needed to do. And in that 15 years, you know, I ended up working in a treatment facility. I was an addiction therapist for 8 years. And so I worked on the other side. I never went to a treatment facility myself, but I worked with people in it. And so I'm very versed, and with my international certification as an alcohol and drug counselor, you know, there was a lot of things that I learned about me, and conversely, it was very, very helpful. I was very helpful in assisting others that were searching for an answer that had addictions at that time. Because at that time, that's all I did was work with people with addictions.
And what do you think the essence of that gave you relative to who you are today and where you are today?
Compassion. Just to know where someone else is coming from.
Yes.
When people walk in to see me, they know. There's no judgment. There's zero judgment. And how in the hell can I judge where I came from?
Right.
And so people come in and they just open up right away because they trust. There's this trust. They give me the information, and like that was that depth of compassion that's what that gave me.